Residents in Durban are mopping up following the torrential rain and flooding. Disaster management teams, both public and private, have urged Good Samaritans to contribute to the citywide relief aid efforts. The suburb of Sydenham in Durban, among the areas impacted by the flash flooding, they need help. Karinda Jagmohan filed this report.
Well, in the wake of any devastation, you'll always find community groups coming together to help one another. That's the case in Sydenham. So in the wake of the flooding that's happened across Durban, we know the tornado in Inanda, where residents need help. They need clothing, warm food, they need shelter. Similarly here in Sydenham as well, some residents' homes have been underwater following the floods. So this community group, Save the Children, has activated a plan today, and we're just going to highlight that as well. Veronica, Lola, thank you for your time. Let's just talk about what the Sydenham community has done for the flood victims today.
All right. So, hi to everybody. We got a call from Dominic, CCW, that mans most of disaster management, whatever is needed, required in the Sydenham area. We got a call from them on the group to say this is what's happening. Homes have been flooded, children, families devastated. We got hold of Human Aid because we are in partnership with Human Aid. Phone call, they are always first on the ground. And that appealed and brought in blankets, food. We will be supplying hot meals while these homes are being renovated and cleaned up by Dominic. We've got clothing, we've got blankets. As you can see, all the stuff that we have. And this is solely from SOC and Human Aid. And, you know, it's just ongoing, whatever the appeal. So tomorrow if they come and say, look, there's homes that need certain things that are missing, stoves, startup kits or whatever, we get the call from Dominic, Human Aid is on the ground, and we just supply.
Would you encourage residents or any person watching to also contribute to their community similarly?
Absolutely, because every bit helps. Every loaf of bread helps. Today we'll be distributing 150 loaves. We'll be feeding over 300 people. And it's ongoing. As long as there's a need, whatever, whether it's medical, whatever the results from the disaster, we will be there to assist.
Great news. Thank you so much for the work you do, Veronica.
So much.
You'll see the blankets are here, various blankets. I'm looking at clothes as well. Hoodies, shirts for those who've lost their formal clothes for work. Every person gets some help. But Dominic King, thank you. You're a community leader, sir. I mean, this has been a chaotic time for the whole of Durban. Tell me about Sydenham in particular, the impact of the floods here.
You know, it takes a disaster to see the community come together every time. Each time is a disaster. We got WhatsApp groups. So we just post onto our WhatsApp groups and just let the community kick into gear. So from the looting prepared us of things like that and previous flood situations. So we've got a team like Veronica said. So I call her or I'll send a message on the WhatsApp group, and they're all part of the WhatsApp group, and then they kick themselves into gear. I'll tell them what's needed. We'll go in and assess, help the people that's for that time, and then we do assessment the next day. Like so, yes. The morning from last night, we were in Butcher Road helping people out of their properties and things like that, helping the flood water. And then this morning we came back again now to see now what they need.
You know, it was interesting to see how community members were even yelling to their neighbors saying, I'm going to come help you, what do you need? Tell me though, in terms of the infrastructure, what does the community need to ensure this does not happen again? It's happened several times.
You know, I think it was 5 years or 6 years ago, could be corrected. They had a massive pipeline project done, millions. And the engineer said to us, we'll never ever have a flood again. And since that time, we've had 2 of these incidents. So what did they actually do? They just made it worse. Because this flood last night was worse than all other floods. The water was if you saw the manhole covers working, pushed, thrown up in the air. Water was coming out of the drainage system that's supposed to be carrying the water away. So what work did they do? And that needs to be investigated. The company that was laying those pipes, they need to be investigated. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you're playing with people's lives. You do half the job and hopefully nothing happens. Pay something, nothing happens. And then we sit with the disaster and say, you saw that first house we went to. That lady lives on an oxygen tank. You saw all her positions. She doesn't have much because of all the floods. But each time she starts from scratch.
Well, thank you so much for speaking to us. Playing with people's lives, as Dominic King says here. The concern right now for many Sydenham residents and residents across the board is about drainage systems and whether or not the city's infrastructure can withstand the frequency of torrential rain, the downpours we are seeing happening every year. Or now at least we saw there was 2017 where we had floods then. Of course, last year the April floods, deadly floods then, and this year again a tornado in Inanda, flooding in Durban, Pinetown, south of Durban, KZN South Coast as well. And the cause for concern right now is infrastructure needs to be able to better withstand that sort of disaster. In the meantime, residents now are trying to take a step forward. They're trying to help each other. An example is this Save the Children group. They're gathering blankets, food, whatever they can, and they encourage other community members to do the same, to contribute and just try to help thy neighbor in such a situation. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Karinda Jagmohan in Sydenham.